In this video, we're going to summarize what it takes to set up the Epik theme from StudioPress. The Epik theme is a third-party theme available from StudioPress, and we wanted to take a look at what it takes to set this thing up. This is, I'm scrolling through it, the theme itself, and as you can see there are a number of sections designed to show up on mobile devices. It's a pretty well built theme, looks pretty good, runs on Genesis. The setup is not your typical Genesis theme. There are some similarities, but there's definitely some differences as well. There's a slider that runs with the Genesis responsive layout slider, and it's got 4 slides in it. We've uploaded those images into our site, and we set them up as featured images within a certain category. We created a category called Slider, which you can see here, and we've got 4 blog posts that we created under that category, Slider 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each one of those posts has a featured image, which is the slide that shows up when that particular category is displayed. So that's one element of it. The instructions weren't exactly clear, and you could use pages or posts or a number of other options as well, but it has to be the featured image that gets called in that particular slider. In addition, there is a portfolio page. Click on that page real quick. This takes us to what they call a portfolio. Now, what this portfolio does is it displays certain posts, not pages, but posts within a category or all categories. In this case, the demo is set up to show all the blog posts and all the categories, and the images you see are also powered by featured images. It's set to display about 8 at a time. Now, there are a couple additional settings for the portfolio section. To access those, you go to Genesis and you choose Theme Settings and scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see Portfolio Page Settings. In this case, I've set it to show all the categories except I excluded the category, which on my particular setup is the category that has the slides in it. So 322 is the number of the category for slides. So it'll show everything except for those posts. The other theme settings are all standard. There's a number of color options. The default is the one used in the demo. Now, the main part of the setup of this particular theme all happens on the home page within widgets. So by default, this will simply display blog posts, the index of most recently shown blog articles. But within the home page, there are a long series of sidebars and widgets that you can utilize. The first of those is the slider, and we're going to hop into Appearance and look at widgets real quick. So here is the list that over here on the right, it's a long list of sidebars to power this particular page. I will also point out that the menu system that is shown in the demo is a menu system. It's not a primary, it's not a secondary. This is a header right menu system. So we use there's a sidebar called header right, and we put in a custom menu. In this case, I chose the primary navigation menu that came with the default XML file that comes with this particular theme. I added the portfolio page to mimic this. Same thing here. I did not add a page for theme colors, but I could, even though it would not be functional. So just to show you where this is, here's the menu system that comes with the XML file if you happen to work with this. But in this case, I'm just going to add a quick link, and we'll call it, or what was it called? It's called Theme Colors. So we'll give it the label of Theme Colors, add it to the menu. It drops down to the bottom. That's the default place for WordPress. I'll save this menu system, and when I refresh the page, now we have a similar system. Now, I have the description and the title for my own site, WPThemeSpeed Child Theme Baseline Speed Tests, whereas they just have Epik. So kind of keep it simple. They don't use a logo in this particular demo. We're going to go back into widgets and take a look at some of those additional widgets. So in this demo they use there's a slider wide and a slider. They use the slider, and we can drag in the Genesis responsive slider widget, and that is powered by some default settings that you can configure under Genesis and slider settings. So that pulls in our top layer where we see the rotating slides. Then from there it moves into the welcome feature 1, 2, and 3. These are the ones used. The welcome wide is not used, but welcome 1, 2, and 3 represent 3 columns in a row. So I'll scroll down. So here they are. This is the row, this black area, column 1, column 2, column 3. So each one of those items, the cloud, the little clock thing, and the people, those represent welcome 1 sidebar, welcome 2 sidebar, and welcome 3, and they each only have one widget within them. And this is the text and things of that nature. I will point out that for our purposes, I've actually downloaded each one of these little icons and images throughout the home page and uploaded them into my own media library. I do intend to do a speed test on this theme later, and I need the images on my own site to get the most appropriate speed test. So next we move into, as we move past the feature 1, 2, and 3 welcomes, we move to something called the home feature 1 left and the home feature 2 right. And each of these have 2 widgets apiece. Here they are. Here's the left, and here's the right. And these represent a widget and another widget stacked on top of each other. So those are on the right, and then these are on the left. 9 theme colors to choose from on the top, and you can see some of that text there. There's the title for that, 9 theme colors to choose from at the top. So that's all within a text widget. This whole page is built on a text widget for the demo. You could have it dynamically linked if you choose. This particular demo site is not, so as we test it out, we too will not build it in a dynamic fashion. So there's left and right for the home feature. Then we move into a home feature gray, which has a single text widget in it as well. We can see that here. There's a couple things that are important to note about this. There's an image that kind of floats to the left and some text, and another image that floats to the right. To pull off that effect, they utilize, in this particular theme, a div class called feature left and a second div class called feature right with feature margin as well. So there's some built-in CSS in this particular theme that allows that when you use it, will make this image go to the left and this text go to the right, but you have to have that div class in there, otherwise these are going to stack on top of each other and you'll never get them to float quite like you see it in the demo. We have a home feature white section, so you can kind of tell by the colors. There's a white and then a dark gray and then another white, and we see a white, and then it floats up here to dark gray, and another white, and a gray, and a white. It skips a gray, but we'll go down there. Some white, gray, white, gray, and it gets to this area, or these two areas here. So we'll start with this one because it's a little unique. So home feature 10, 11, 12, and 13, these are all on a single row. These all represent this gray row right through here. However, these happen to be columns within this row. So in this case, it's a text widget with an image and a little bit of text below it. Make sure your profile is on point. We see make sure your profile is on point down here, and then another one for Are You Feeling Forever Alone? That will be in number 11. Are you feeling forever alone, etc. So you get the concept. So even though there are sidebars, this is a sidebar, this is another sidebar, a third sidebar, and a fourth to represent 11, 12, and 13. 10, 11, 12, and 13. Close those and hide those. There's another home feature area after that, which they use to display this choose the plan and some columns. This is not a sidebar. This is all done with just some HTML. It's a little bit complex as HTML goes, but it's a good thing to benchmark off of if you are looking to create that yourself. So they've got some number of different things going on there. And then we move into our footers. There's 3 footers. They're down here in dark. Here's first footer, second footer, third footer. So there you have it, the Epik theme from StudioPress. I believe it's actually built by a third party and a gentleman named Wes Straham, who is a developer and also runs something called AppFinit. Most of these images actually are hot linked over from the AppFinit site, so it is possible to see some of them and work with them for now, but that's dependent on that third party site. I believe that pretty much wraps up how this theme works. Everything else is standard WordPress or StudioPress. But if you've got any questions, leave us a comment either here on YouTube or on our website at WPThemeSpeed.com.